The United Nations in Sri Lanka stated yesterday that it had launched a joint humanitarian needs and priorities plan to help Sri Lanka. Issuing a media communique, UN Sri Lanka is calling for $47.2 million to be contributed for life-saving assistance to 1.7 million who have been hit the worst due to the economic crisis for a 4-month period starting from this month until September. The UN says that development and humanitarian partners have estimated that close to 5.7 million women, children and men need immediate life-saving assistance in Sri Lanka. The UN also explained that 1.7 million people targeted under the Humanitarian Needs and Priorities Plan have been identified as people whose livelihoods, food security and access to health services are at risk and require immediate assistance. The initiative by UN Sri Lanka has come in response to the government's request for UN-backed multi-sector international assistance to respond to the most urgent needs arising from the recent crisis. In the communique, UN Resident Coordinator in Sri Lanka Hannah Singh Hamdi stated that multiple factors are impacting Sri Lanka's food security situation and that without immediate action, many families will be unable to meet basic food needs. This, she says, could lead to a humanitarian crisis later this year. She added that Sri Lanka's once-strong healthcare system has been jeopardized, livelihoods are suffering, and the most vulnerable are facing the greatest impact. As such, Hamdi called on the international community to show solidarity with Sri Lanka and for donors to help get Sri Lanka out of the current crisis. The UN says that food production in the last harvest was 40 to 50% lower than last year, and the current agriculture season is at risk with seed, fertilizer, fuel and credit shortages. It also stated that nearly 5 million people, or 22% of the population, are currently in need of food assistance, as surveys reveal that 86% of households are using at least one coping mechanism, such as reducing food intake and including skipping meals. In the meantime, two of Australia's cricketing stars Steve Smith and Mitchell Starc recorded appeals to the international community to provide humanitarian aid to Sri Lanka.
We are in Sri Lanka raising awareness of the economic crisis
and encouraging friends to assist in any ways they can.
Just as our mate Shane Warne did in 2005 after the tsunami crisis, because that is what neighbours do, and we've been helping each other out for more than 75 years.
The United Nations has launched a flash appeal in Sri Lanka to support communities affected by the economic crisis.
We are proud that Australia is doing its bit. Together, we can help Sri Lanka hit this crisis for 6.